All right, this video is definitely going to stir up some shit if I get some Jon Jones fans in here. So if you guys don't know Jon Jones for some reason, obviously he's one of the greatest MMA fighters of all time. A lot of people call him the GOAT. I wouldn't, because he's a PED cheat, and I don't... TJ Dillashaw got his career ruined by doing steroids, but Jon Jones did it multiple times and had events canceled and then fights turned into no contests. But he's all right, and he's still the GOAT, even though TJ Dillashaw just completely got pushed out of the UFC because he did it one time. But Jon Jones gets special treatment, which is very interesting that they do, knowing what he did in the past, doing one of the most cowardly things a person could do and put his hands on a woman, being one of the best MMA fighters of all time. Also adding on to the fact, putting hands on a woman, making it 10 times worse. Like, you could beat up like 99% of men in the world, but you choose to put your hands on your wife. That's a really shitty thing to do. And people just act like he's changed, like he didn't have an incident literally right after he got out of the Hall of Fame. But I'm not going to linger on that for too long because this is not what the video is about. I also said he could beat 99% of men in the world because there is one man in the heavyweight division he is actively avoiding. And that man is the interim champ, Tom Aspinall. Can you believe that I have to sit here and argue with you guys that Jon Jones should be facing the interim champion? Like that isn't the fucking way it goes with any other champion in history. But no, he wants a legacy fight where nobody really gives a fuck besides Jon Jones fans that want him to win. He has literally DM'd fans defensively, admitting multiple times, even on tweets and Instagram comments, I can't necessarily remember what, call him Stipe old and an easy win. Just saying he's getting $15 million and beating old man Stipe and retiring in the sunset. That's just bullshit. I don't understand how people can look at him as the greatest when he's actively ducking people like Francis Ngannou 3 years ago. He didn't want to go to heavyweight when Francis was a champion. When he left, Jon had no problem coming up to heavyweight. And he left the light heavyweight division when it was getting a bit better. If you look at his resume... Oh, I'm getting into... I get heated when I talk about this. I got to briefly talk about it. If you look at his resume, Jon Jones faced middleweights that moved up to light heavyweight to face him. They were pride middleweights and they moved up because the light heavyweight division was weak. So Jon Jones going 2-0 at heavyweight. You know, being Cyril gone fair play, you beat somebody your own size, Jon, but you couldn't grapple. It was basically a squash match in there, like it was fucking WWE, and they're doing the same thing with Stipe. Stipe can strike, but has never been an elite grappler like Jon Jones. He's just going to get tapped like Cyril did. Easy peasy. And he's the GOAT. And they want to build up Jon Jones like this Michael Jordan of the sport. To compare Michael Jordan's mentality to Jon Jones is actually laughable. Actually hilarious. Y'all know what I'm about to say. Sub to the channel so you don't miss any uploads. I'm sure y'all forget. I know how it is. I watch YouTube all the time. I don't be subscribing to everybody I watch. But if you guys want to watch more influencer boxing, UFC, or regular boxing content, that's right here. Drop a subscribe. I'll be uploading 3 times a week at least. Wow. See, we don't see great champions like Volkanovski. We don't see people like Max Holloway. We don't see people like even the people that aren't even considered GOATs in the sport. We don't see them ducking fights. We see them taking every fight that people want to see and fights that prove that they're better than the other person. But, you know, not Jon. Now for the delusional Jon Jones fans that thinks that he could beat a prime Tom Aspinall, I got some stats for you about Tom Aspinall. He has 100% takedown defense percentage. He's never been taken down. He's been on his back the least amount of anybody on the UFC. The only time he was on his back is when he injured his knee. He has also finished 4 of the top 10 in the heavyweight division. And his average fight time is 2 minutes. And I think one of his fights were way longer than the other ones. Without that fight, I think his fight time is like 1 minute on average. So people on Twitter and Instagram or whatever social media are going to tell me that Jon Jones beating Stipe Miocic means more than him beating Tom Aspinall. Stipe Miocic is probably the greatest heavyweight of all time. But that was fucking 5 years ago. That was 5 years ago. People don't talk about the fact, like, Jon probably could have tapped Francis Ngannou. But he still didn't want to take the chance of getting knocked out. He doesn't want that loss in his record. Even though he lost to Reyes, I'm sorry, Reyes got fucking robbed. He's never going to admit that. Even though, you know, Dana admitted that in an interview, but took it back later, which is pretty interesting.
Going into the last round, I had Dominic Reyes 3-1.
Then he went to go on recently and say, who cares? The judges scored the fight. We're not the judges. We kind of fucking care. You're calling him the greatest of all time, but Dominic Reyes dominated him in the fight. It was a robbery. And bro, Dominic Reyes went on a losing streak after that fight. So to become the greatest heavyweight of all time and the greatest fighter of all time, him beating a guy that got knocked out 3 years ago is going to do it, says Dana White and the UFC fans. And you can say a lot of good things about Jon Jones' skill set, but he is not somebody that's known for having knockout power. He's always been a grapple first, and he's always had nasty, vicious ground and pounds. But he never puts people out cold like Tom Aspinall does. So tell me, if Jon Jones can't tap Tom Aspinall because he can't wrestle him, what is Jon Jones going to do? What else is Jon Jones' game plan in that fight? And I think that's why he's not taking it. Oh, but Royalty, you're a casual. He choked out Shotgun Rua at the end of his career and head kicked DC off posting picograms. People forget that that fight went to a no contest, by the way. Jon Jones only got the fight delayed because he got caught cheating, and then the fight got turned to no contest because he got caught cheating again. Wild shit from Jon Jones. And for the people that might be saying, oh, he does have finishing ability, what are you talking about? He went to decision with Anthony Smith. Let's not forget that. Anthony Smith. I'm just saying. So tell me what's going to happen when the takedown isn't working against Aspinall, and then he's trying his technical oblique kicks and jabs and straight punches against Tom Aspinall blitzes. That's not going to go well, and that's why he's not fucking doing it. Absolute fucking pussy. He's the champion, but he won't fight the interim. And obviously I'm calling him pussy. Obviously he would beat me up. I'm the 99%. But he will not face that 1%. He won't. So if Jon Jones and Stipe are really retiring after this fight, it shouldn't be a fucking title fight. Simple as that. If it's a legacy fight, let it just be that. It being a title fight is bullshit. So Johnny boy, prove me wrong. Beat Stipe, like we know you're going to do already. And call out Tom Aspinall. You guys do a face-off in the ring, and that's a huge fucking fight. If you beat Tom Aspinall, I shut up and you're the GOAT, even though you cheated. If you beat Tom Aspinall, somebody that's in their prime and is dominating the whole heavyweight division, then maybe you are the heavyweight GOAT. But you beating an old man that is past his prime and got knocked out in his last fight isn't going to do it for me. Alex Pereira fight might excite him. Is it maybe because Alex Pereira can't grapple? Is it maybe because Alex Pereira isn't bigger than you? Absolute fucking bitch. I hope that you face Alex Pereira and he just stuffs one takedown and left hooks your fucking chin off. God, how is the greatest of all time a duck? How? They traded the true greatest of all time for Ben Askren.
Clock is brought to you by Modelo.
Which was a good idea, Dana. Great idea. Now, quick overview of the rant I just had. If Jon Jones beats Stipe and goes into the sunset ducking Tom Aspinall, he's going to be known for that for the rest of his life, and it's going to piss him off. And Jon, you don't want to come back too late when your beard is fully gray, and then Tom really beats your ass. So yeah, I've been waiting to rant for this for a minute. I'm not a huge fan of Jon Jones, as you can see, based off his resume and his actions with Tom Aspinall recently. Let me know if you guys agree in the comments. Let me know where you disagree. Let me know if you think I'm a casual for thinking this. Yeah, so hate brings in views, so there's a good chance this might be the most viewed video on my channel. It could also flop too. You really don't know how YouTube's going to work. Thank y'all for listening to me yap like usual. Make sure you guys like and subscribe and leave a comment. It really helps out a lot. I'm still trying to grow the channel. And see you guys later. Peace out.